Hello everyone, welcome back to the GTA 6 information channel. I hope you're all doing well today. First of all, before we get into today's video, I just want to quickly apologize for the lack of uploads recently. My computer was not working properly, which made recording and editing very difficult, but thankfully everything is fixed now and we are back. And honestly, this is the perfect time to return, because today we have a very important GTA 6 report to talk about. A new article from Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier has given us major insight into the pressure surrounding GTA 6, the cost of development, the console's first release strategy, the PC version, the Sony marketing deal, and just how high the expectations are for Rockstar Games. This is not just a random rumor floating around online. This report includes comments from Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two Interactive, which is a parent company of Rockstar Games. So when he speaks about GTA 6, the industry pays attention, because he is one of the most important people involved in the business side of this release. In today's video, we're going to break down exactly what was said, why it matters, and what it means for fans, why GTA 6 is not coming to PC on day one, and why even selling 10 million copies at launch could somehow be seen as a disaster for a game of this size. So let's get into it. Now first, let's talk about the person behind this report, because that matters. Jason Schreier is one of the most respected journalists in the gaming industry. He currently writes for Bloomberg, and before that he was known for his report. Over the years he has built a strong reputation for covering behind the scenes stories in the gaming world, including major studio problems, development delays, crunch culture, and internal company situations that most people never normally hear about. So when he speaks on Rockstar or GTA 6, it usually gets serious attention because he has a strong track record. This is not the same as a random anonymous post on social media. This is a proper journalist publishing through Bloomberg, one of the biggest business news outlets in the world. So when an article like this comes out, especially with the comments connected to Strauss Zelnick, it gives us a much more clear picture of what Take-Two and Rockstar are thinking behind the scenes. So now let's talk about Strauss Zelnick himself. Strauss Zelnick is the CEO of Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two owns Rockstar Games, meaning he is one of the key figures overseeing the business strategy behind GTA 6. He is not the person designing missions, writing characters, or building the map, but he is the person responsible for guiding the company's financial strategy and speaking to investors. That is important because GTA 6 is not just a game at this point. It's a business event, it's a cultural event, it's a release that investors, fans, analysts, and the entire entertainment industry are watching very closely. And according to this new article, even Strauss Zelnick himself has admitted that the expectations around GTA 6 are extremely high. He described them as exciting, but also terrifying. And honestly, that word makes complete sense, because GTA 6 is not being treated like a normal game release. It is expected to be the biggest entertainment launches of all time. This is the sequel to GTA 5, a game that has lasted across multiple console generations and has made billions through both single player sales and GTA Online. So the pressure on GTA 6 is almost impossible to compare to anything else. Most developers would dream of selling 10 million copies at launch. For many games, that would be a historic success. But for GTA 6, analysts are forecasting that it could sell more than 25 million at launch. That means if GTA 6 only sold 10 million copies, which would be incredible for almost any other franchise, it could be seen as a disaster internally because expectations are so much more higher. That is the level of pressure Rockstar is dealing with, and that is where I think fans need to understand the scale of what is happening. When we talk about delays, long development time, silence from Rockstar, and the lack of constant updates, it's not because they are treating this casually, it's actually the opposite. They know this game cannot afford to feel unfinished. They know the world is waiting. They know that every single trailer, screenshot, gameplay reveal and feature will be analysed frame by frame. So when Strauss says the expectations are terrifying, I actually believe that, because no matter how good Rockstar's track record is, GTA 6 is being judged against more than a decade of hype. Now the next major point from the report is that Rockstar's creative team has apparently been given unlimited financial resources to deliver perfection. That is a huge statement. It basically means Take-Two is not telling Rockstar to cut corners. They're not saying get this game quickly and keep costs low. Instead, the message seems to be take the resources you need, build the game properly, and make sure it meets the standard people expect from Rockstar. And this explains a lot. It explains a long development cycle, it explains why the game has taken so many years, and it explains why there have been delays. And it also explains why the budget for GTA 6 is expected to be absolutely massive. We've already seen reports and discussion suggesting that GTA 6 could be one of the most expensive games ever made. Some estimates have gone into billions when you include development, salaries, marketing, technology, and long-term support. And when you hear that Rockstar is being given almost unlimited resources creatively, suddenly that makes sense. But there is also a bigger industry question here. Is this healthy for gaming? Because on one hand, as fans, we obviously want GTA 6 to be good as possible. We want the best graphics, we want the biggest world, we want smart NPCs, advanced police, amazing gameplay, deep story, strong online systems, and details everywhere. But on the other hand, if one game costs this much to make, it creates a standard that almost no other studio can match. Not every company can afford to spend this kind of money. Rockstar can do it because GTA 5 and GTA Online have made so much money over the years, but for the rest of the industry, this kind of budget is almost impossible. So GTA 6 is in a strange position. It might push gaming forward, but it also shows how expensive a top-level game development has become. Another interesting point from the report is that development costs have gone significantly up, and despite all of the talk about AI, Take-Two has not yet seen costs come down. That is important because a lot of people assume AI will suddenly make games cheaper and faster to create, but according to Strauss Zelnick, that is really not happening yet. Costs are still rising, and that makes sense when you think about a game like GTA 6. Even if AI helps with certain tools or background tasks, you still need human creativity. You still need writers, designers, animators, programmers, voice actors, artists, mission designers, testers, and world builders. GTA 6 is not the kind of game where you can just press a button and let technology do everything. Rockstar's strength has always been detail, writing, atmosphere, and handcrafted design. So even if AI helps in some areas, it does not replace the huge amount of human work needed to make a game like this feel special. Now let's move on to the biggest discussion points from the article, the PC release. Now according to the report, Sony does have a marketing deal with Rockstar, but Strauss Zelnick made it clear this is not the real reason that GTA 6 is not launching on PC day one. This is important because a lot of fans assume that the lack of day one PC release might be connected to some kind of PlayStation deal. But according to Strauss, Rockstar has historically gone to console first because that is where the core consumer is. And to be fair, it is true. Rockstar has done this before. GTA 5 released on console first and then PC much later. Red Dead Redemption 2 also launched on console first before eventually coming to PC. This is not a new behavior from Rockstar. Now, does that make PC players happy? No, of course not. PC fans are frustrated and understand why. In 2026, PC gaming is bigger than ever. A lot of players have more powerful setups and they want the possible version of GTA 6 with higher frame rate, better settings, mods, and everything else that comes with PC. But from Rockstar's business point of view, releasing on console first makes sense. They can focus on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S versions first. They can optimize the game for fixed hardware. They can deliver the cleanest launch possible. Then later they release the PC version, and that creates a second wave of sales. And let's be honest, some people will buy the game twice. A lot of fans will buy GTA 6 on console at launch because they do not want to wait. Then when the PC version is released later, they might buy it again for better graphics, mods, or GTA Online on PC. That is exactly what happened with GTA 5. So while fans might not like the strategy, from a business perspective it's really powerful. It gives Rockstar one huge console launch, then another major launch later on PC. That keeps GTA 6 in the headlines for longer and increased total sales. Now the big concern is whether this risks upsetting part of the audience. PC players already feel left out, and if the gap is too long, that frustration will grow. If GTA 6 launches on console in November 2026 and PC players have to wait until 2027 or even 2028, there will definitely cause some backlash. But Rockstar has always been willing to accept the criticism because they know people will still show up when the PC version eventually releases. This is the reality. Now let's talk about sales expectation, because this is one of the craziest parts of the report. Analysts are already forecasting that GTA 6 could sell more than 25 million copies at launch. That is an unbelievable number. To put that into perspective, most games will never reach 25 million copies in their entire lifetime. For GTA 6, that number is being discussed as a possible launch figure. That just shows how massive this game is expected to be. And that also explains why Take-Two is under so much pressure. If this game sells 25 million copies quickly, the revenue will be enormous. But if it underperforms compared to those expectations, even if it sells better than almost every other game, investors could see as disappointing. This is a strange world GTA 6 exists in. It's not just competing with other games, it's competing with expectations, with GTA 5's legacy, with years of hype, and with the idea this could be the biggest entertainment release ever. That is why the stakes are so high. Now personally, I do think GTA 6 will sell an insane amount at launch. I think 25 million copies is possible. This game is not just being followed by hardcore gamers, it is being watched by casual players, people who have not touched console in years, old GTA fans, new fans, streamers, content creators and people who simply want to be part of the movement. When GTA 6 launches, it will take over social media, it will take over YouTube, it will take over Twitch. Even people who do not usually play games will be talking about. With that level of attention comes a risk. If the game launches with serious bugs, weak performances or missing features, the backlash will be huge. We have seen what happens when hype goes wrong. Cyberpunk 2077 is an obvious example. Even though that game improved massively later, people still remember the launch. Rockstar will not want that to happen. That is why unlimited resources, delays and careful console first strategy all connect together. Rockstar is trying to avoid disaster. They are trying to make sure that when GTA 6 releases, it feels polished from day one. Now let's be balanced here. Just because a game has unlimited resources does not automatically mean it will be perfect. Money helps, but it does not guarantee quality. A game still needs direction, it still needs good writing, it still needs strong gameplay, and it still needs systems that actually work together. But if there is one studio that has earned the trust over the years, it is Rockstar. GTA 5 has delivered, Red Dead Redemption 2 delivered. Their major releases rarely miss. So while the pressure is terrifying, I do think Rockstar understands what is at stake, and that is the biggest takeaway from this Bloomberg report. GTA 6 is not being treated like a normal release, it is being treated as the biggest project in Rockstar's history. Expectations are extremely high, the budget is massive, the creative teams have the resources they need, the console first strategy is intentional, the PC version coming later is part of the business plan, and the sales expectations are almost impossible for any other game to imagine. So now the question is simple, can GTA 6 live up to this level of hype? I personally think it can, but I also think expectations need to be controlled. No game can be perfect in every way. There will always be things fans wanted that do not make it in. There will always be debate, but if GTA 6 delivers a world that feels next generation, a strong story, improved gameplay and a polished launch, then I think it will meet the moment. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think about Strauss Zelnick saying the expectations are terrifying? Do you think GTA 6 will sell more than 25 million copies at launch? And should Rockstar release their PC versions on day one? Or do you understand why they are going console first? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more GTA 6 news, updates and analysis, make sure you subscribe to the GTA 6 information channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss any future updates.